All right, so shout out to all the new subscribers. We building this thing person by person. I think I started a couple of months ago, about 50 subscribers. We up to 200. So shout out to y'all. Let's keep growing. Let's keep building. Let's keep praying. Let's keep edifying. Let's keep serving. All right. So, but to the lesson for today. So I was reading through Matthew chapter 14, verses 22 to 33, and I've been in it for a couple weeks now. And God just been giving me brand new revelation on these verses. So I think we all are familiar with these set of scriptures. If you've been in church for a while, you probably heard somebody preach this before, where the takeaway, the biggest takeaway, is Jesus telling Peter to come out the boat, walk on water. And Peter did so. He lost focus. Began to drown. Jesus pulled him up, told him, you have little faith. But the part I want to focus on today is the rest of the disciples. So as Peter stepped out on faith, they were still in the boat, still complaining about the storm. If you look at a couple verses prior, they even called Jesus a ghost. He announced himself and said, no, it's me, the Lord. Don't fear, be courageous. But yet, the only courageous one was Peter. Let's take our focus off of Peter. Focus on the rest of the disciples. Now, this is where a lot of us may be. We may be in a season where we're watching someone else step out on faith. All right? Now, although Peter, fear started to kick in, and he ultimately started to drown, we watch people over time, and we watch them fall and drown because our faith ain't even where it needs to be to step out in the first place. Imagine this. Imagine the rest of the disciples being fearful of the problems around them, being fearful of the circumstances around them. Some may have even been in prayer. And this is where a lot of us could be here. We could be one or two disciples. Either we are so scared of what's going on around us that we do not pray, we do not listen to instruction, and we trying to pay attention to see if somebody else is going to fall first. Or we could be the disciple that's in prayer, but still in disobedience because our prayer was already given an answer. Our prayer has already been attached to instruction, but the only thing that's missing is our obedience. It's times where God would tell you to do something, and you know it, and you would still find yourself in prayer. And everybody around you is like, hey, what's going on? And you're like, I'm praying about it. Not realizing that, no, you're actually fearful, but you're trying to deal with it with a spiritual tactic. But the core of it is still fear because you have yet to step out the boat. God is calling you in this season to step out the boat. He's calling you to step into a new season. What that looks like, I do not know. But God is giving you dreams and warnings and instruction and prophecies about it, but you just refuse to step out the boat. Your prayer is actually disobedience. Your prayer is keeping you from stepping out the boat. You prayed long and hard enough already. Now that the instruction is here, you are actually stepping in the way of the answered prayer. Because you don't know how things is going to happen. You don't know why. You don't know where God is calling you to. You don't know who God is calling you to. You don't know what God is calling you to do. But he gave Peter a set of instructions. He told him to step out. Follow me. I am your GPS. I am the one that's going to guide you. I am the one that's going to show you the way. And more importantly, I'm going to make the water your floor. There's a lot of us that's so scared of the deep end. We're so scared that we stay in the shallow end, or we stay covered in the boat. When the Lord is the one who prayed prior to even stepping out on the water, because he was praying for the faith of us. Because when the tests come, he makes sure that we are equipped to pass the test. He isolated himself and prayed, told them he was going to meet them in the next town over. but he met them in the middle of the water. And it's a lot of us that's drowning right now, afraid to get out the boat, still in prayer about something that was already answered. And in this season, God is asking you to step out the boat. Put a toe in. Put your foot in. Put your body in the water. And you will not drown. He asked Peter to walk on water. Peter lost fear. He became fearful. He started to walk on eggshells. Here's the thing. Prayer would never be a substitute for the relationship building between you and Christ. What you mean by that, Minister Ann? It's a lot of us that's trying to pray our way into a relationship with the Lord. It's a lot of us that's trying to pray for the gifts. It's a lot of us that's praying our way through the fear. When the Lord has already told us, fear not, be courageous, and step out the boat. The prayer is actually keeping you from walking in obedience because you're praying to hear further instruction when you didn't listen to the first set of instructions. I'm telling you this because I love you. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to build. Look at Peter as an example. The only reason why he began to drown is because he started to lose his faith because of the fear, because of the circumstances around. He kept his eyes off the one. But the other disciples, they never stepped out the boat. Who would you rather be? The Lord is calling you. He's calling you into the next season. He's calling you to operate in faith. He's calling you to operate in obedience. If you look at Matthew chapter 4, look how Jesus handled the enemy. Notice that his first action or response was not prayer. He went directly to the word because he understood what needed to be done. He was not going to have the wilderness keep him there for 40 years like the Israelites. He said, I fasted for 40 days and 40 nights and I'm ready. I'm equipped. Fast forward, Matthew 14. He's trying to equip the disciples. But they decide to stay in a boat. They decided to stay in the wilderness. They decided to stay in fear. Peter said, Lord, if that's you, I'm coming. And he stepped out. We look at Peter and we say, man, he should have never drowned. I look at the rest of the disciples and say, at what point do you step out? Because the one you are following is never going to allow you to drown. And if you do, pay attention, if you do, he's the same one who's going to pull you up, correct you, purpose you. But you would never lose your identity in him. Your eyes began to wander. Just like a relationship. When your eyes start to wander, your actions follow. And you drown in sin. You start having cheating eyes. Because you kept your eyes off the one. This is for you. Step out the boat. I see the storms around you. This is your encouragement. Step out the boat. Keep your eyes focused on God. I know it's distracting. I know sin looks shiny. I know it's loud. I know there's a lot going on at work. I know there's a lot going on in your household. I know there's a lot going on social media. I know there's a lot going on in your relationship. I know there's a lot going on in your mind where you're overthinking, but I'm telling you, step out the boat. Y'all enjoy your day.